Welcome to today's video. After watching this video, you will be an expert on how to predict the real estate market. If you want to understand how to predict the real estate market, the first thing you have to understand is economics. How does money work? You're going to learn the basics of economics today, how money actually works, and then at the end of this video, I'm actually going to give you my predictions on where the real estate market's going to go and what we need to do. I'm Rick Dhillon, and that's what I do. I give you guys real estate and entrepreneurship content. Hit me a like, subscribe so I can do more of this. Okay, now let's understand the economy. The economy, dumbed down, is really just made up of transactions. The amount of money that is spent for assets or goods or services. Okay? The more money that's being exchanged, the stronger the economy. Now, this money exchange is based on two factors. Individual income, so how much employment, how much money people are making in society or in the economy. The second part is how much debt, how much credit are lenders willing to spray in the economy. Those factored together will give you the abundance of money surplus that's circulating in the marketplace. Simple. When you have a lot of money circulating in the marketplace, you have a very strong economy. When you don't, then the economy goes to stale. So where were we and where are we going? The real estate market has been very strong in Canada for a very long time. Now that we know how transactions work, we have to understand that transactions are pretty much based on the money that's in the marketplace. The money that's in the marketplace is twofold. Number one, how much money an individual has. Number two, how much money that the lenders are willing to lend that individual. Let's take a mortgage, for example. If you have subject A that has X amount of dollars, and because they have a lot of credit worthiness, the bank is willing to 10x what they have. Now they can go take that money and that mortgage, put it into a property. Everything is fun. Everything is popping. People are making money. Because people have money, more banks want to lend them money because they're more credit worthy. And because now they have a lot of buying power through their assets, where they're getting line of credits and their individual income, they're spending that money freely on businesses. They go out to dinner, they go out shopping. Those businesses are also making money. Money is free flowing through the economy. Everything is awesome. Lenders are feeling very happy and secure because they're like, okay, take the money for that asset. You want to buy a house? Sure, boom, here it is. Because they know that value of that money is going to be safe and that property is going up. Why wouldn't you lend money? Everything is popping. Everything is awesome. Everything is good. Now, let's go back to 2008. If you want to understand the Canadian economy and the real estate market, 2008 was a pivotal moment. In 2008, there was a credit crisis, a subprime mortgage crisis in the United States that affected Europe and a lot of different places. You know where it didn't affect? Canada. It's a very pivotal time because of the subprime mortgage crisis that happened in the US had to stimulate spending. They had to save their economy. What did they do? Boom. They printed money, put it into their marketplace. Also, interest rates went down to zero. Because Canada and US are big trading partners, our interest rates also went down to zero. We followed their footstep. Now, two things happened. We're already in a robust economy. We didn't need the stimulation of zero interest rates. But when zero interest rate came, boom, our houses prices started even going higher. That's the first thing that happened. The second thing that happened, Canadians felt invincible. They felt that our marketplace was going to be awesome forever. Okay? And we rode that wave, and the economy was even getting better, and lenders were giving more money to people to buy more assets, and people felt rich. So consumers would go and buy more things, more restaurants, more shoes, more plays, more movies. Everyone was happy. And because businesses were making more money, they would go and get more loans because the lenders were like, oh, you're making a lot of income. Here's more money. Everything was awesome. The real estate economy was just robust. All right? That's what happened. We never had a crisis, but because the US did, we carried that momentum with zero interest rates. Cool. And we rode that wave. There was little dips here and there, but we never had a correction. We rode that wave. Now let's go all the way back to COVID. All right? From the '08 crisis to COVID. Now COVID happened. We felt that one. We weren't invincible on that one. Because of COVID, there was a lockdown. And because of the lockdown happened, governments and the powers to be were telling individuals, don't go to work, stay home, don't go anywhere. Well, how are people going to make money? That's okay. What did they do? They printed money. They printed money so we didn't crash as an economy. Because we printed money and people were at home, they had more money. There was more money circulating in the economy. When there's more money circulating in the economy, there is more stuff to do with it. You can spend more money. So in a time where the market should have went down because of a crisis, we actually went up because of the money printing. And guess what? In order to stimulate spending, interest rates went back down to zero. Or close to. So you can get mortgages for 1.5%, 2%. It was insane. So because there was more money in the economy and interest rates were low, guess what people did? They went and bought houses. What happened? At a time where the houses should have been like stabilizing or even going down, boom, we hit another surplus and the assets of houses started going up in value again. Now check it out. To present time. We never had a stop button. Imagine running on the treadmill, sprinting, and there is no stop. We were doing HIIT workouts for the last 2 decades. We never took a breath. And you know what happens when you don't take a breath? The universe makes you take a breath. And that's what's happening right now. So because there was a lot of money in the economy, because interest rates are low, inflation hits. So the next big point is inflation. When you have too much money and interest rates are zero, things are simply going to get more expensive. It's not rocket science. So something that used to cost $5 now costs $8. You remember the gas prices were insane. Bananas were expensive. Everything at the grocery store is crazy expensive. That's because there was too much money in the marketplace. Now, there's only 2 ways you can stop money in the marketplace. And the best way, the easiest way, not the best way. The best way is that for the government is because it's the easiest, is just to increase interest rates. What happens? As of late, they started to increase interest rates. As the interest rates increase, people are watching, affordability got way too high, and now what? The economy came to a hold. In order to bite inflation, take a bite out of inflation, we had to increase interest rates. Now people are not spending anymore. When people aren't spending, guess what? Businesses aren't making money. So businesses are squeezing themselves. They're laying off workers. They're not expanding. They're giving up office spaces. Because they're laying off workers, now people have less money in the economy. Now, when you go to get a loan, if businesses aren't making money, individuals are getting laid off and they're making less money, well, now the banks aren't feeling secure anymore. So they're not lending money because the affordability isn't there and they don't feel like they're going to get that money back. So what are we doing? We were over leveraged and now we are deleveraging. In order to fight inflation, we started deleveraging. So now, what's going to happen? let's put this all together. We are definitely on a downward turn because of all of the reasons I mentioned in this video. We are at a time in the economy where everything is tightening up. Everything is tightening up. Less spending, the economy is on a deleveraging phase. Now, we can have a really nice deleveraging or we can have one that is not so good. Here's the truth. Here's the part of the video you were waiting for. Rick, what's going to happen? Real estate is too expensive in Canada. We never took a breath. We are forced to take a breath now. So here's what needs to happen. Interest rates have risen, and we need that to hit home for prices to hit a decrease. There needs to be a price decrease in property. Now we're seeing it. Okay, so this is how that went. Because people knew they were going to get less money for their houses, they didn't sell them. They wouldn't put them on the market. So a time period, for a big time period after interest rates rose, people were like, okay, no, that's fine. I'm just not going to sell my house. So that caused less inventory in the marketplace. Let's talk about that. Even at a time where prices would come down, prices actually went up. Even as of recently, prices went up because there wasn't enough inventory. If there's only, demand went down, but if supply went down with it and even more, the prices still go up. But watch what happened now. Now, supply is going up. There's actually a lot of inventory in the marketplace. When there's a lot of inventory in the marketplace, that means supply is high. When supply is high and demand is low, Economics 101 tells you that there's a downward shift in price equilibrium. Your price of your property just simply needs to come down. Yes, there's going to be casualties of war here. Those people that overpaid for an asset in the last couple years, you will be holding on to an asset that you overpaid for. That's okay. If you can't afford it, you have to sell it at a loss. Okay? If you can, hold on to it because it's not a loss until you sell it. So the good thing the Bank of Canada did, and the government, is they actually implemented that stress test. So if you had followed that stress test, it would have told you that you can afford the property up to a certain amount of interest rates. Now, what's happening is we're even going higher than the interest rates that the stress test was testing you at. It's a thing. So, unfortunately, if you need to sell, you will take a loss. But I don't think that's a big, majority of the marketplace. Here's my fear. Panic selling. This is where things get screwed over in terms of the real estate market. Those of you that panic sell, defined as this: you can afford where you're living, and if you just paid your monthly, you'll be okay because over time your asset value will come back. But because people live in fear, they're going to panic sell. And when you panic sell, that's no good. More inventory comes into the market and prices take a hit. Depending on which side of that equation you are living at. For example, if you're holding on to a lot of cash right now, this is a great time for you. This is the time you've been waiting for. You know the saying, the rich get richer? Well, this is the time that they wait for because they're about to play Monopoly. They're about to pick up assets like crazy. And if you're sitting on money, you should. Now, don't wait till the bottom of the market because sometimes, timing the market is difficult. Okay? So if you want to get into the real estate market, do it now. So if I was running the show, here's what we need to do. We need to make it easier for the people that live here in this country for affordability. And obviously, I don't think we can decrease interest rates back to 1 or 2%. I think a healthy interest rate is about 4 to 5%. So all those mortgages that are going to mature in 2020, late 2024 and all throughout 2025, that's the bulk of the mortgage renewals. And that's the area that we're scared of. When all those 2% mortgages now have to renew at 7, 8%, I'm hoping by then the interest rates are sitting at about 4, 4.5, which makes that pill a little easier to swallow because at least the mortgage rates only doubled and not tripled. Here's what I'm hoping that happens. I'm hoping the powers to be can just eliminate the stress test and increase amortization. Meaning you divide that mortgage over a longer period of time. Instead of a 25-year amortization, bring it back to a 40-year, a 50-year, a 60-year. Okay, that's the only way you're going to be able to afford homes in Canada, especially in Toronto, GTA, and Vancouver, and all your big metropolitan areas. If you want to fight affordability without decreasing interest rates, and you can't decrease interest rates too much because you got to still battle inflation. It's a tough war right now. I don't envy the powers to be right now. It's very tough. It's very tough. Okay, so the only way you can do that is you increase the amortization, like I said, and you come up with other programs that can at least help people in the economy sustain their property. And if you want to get into the property, get rid of that stress test would be good. I don't think interest rates should be hiked way back down. There's that fine line right now of inflation and recession that we're still battling. We might hit an recession, and then the way to battle recession is the interest rates to, stimulate spending again. All in all, y'all, we will get out of this, and it's a good place. This needed to happen. We needed to take this little reset. In a perfect world, I would not want the government to touch these interest rates. Don't kill me until we actually have a little bit of reduction in price of property. It's happening now because inventory is going up. The sellers need to understand, I know it's tough, but we need to understand that, hey, this house that was worth X amount 6 months ago, a year ago, is not that anymore. It has come down. And once we hit a new price equilibrium, then you can start playing around with the interest rates. And in the interim, increase that amortization, get rid of that stress test. If you understand economics, you will understand real estate. Hopefully you got some value from this video. Hit a like. We'll see you on the next one.